Hello, Crusader fans. Welcome to our little preseason sit-down with head softball coach Rich Wagner. Exciting time of year as you guys get to hit the field here this week. How excited are you guys? I imagine fairly so, since you get to actually hit a field.
Yeah, we're excited to see some green grass and some dirt. It's been a lot of the gym and the blue gym, so we're excited to get outside and go down early and practice a little bit on the dirt. So we're pretty excited about that. The girls are, ready to go. Definitely ready for some warmer temperature.
Saw a post on Twitter last week from Dixie State. Gorgeous green field, sunshine. They're out there in shorts practicing. Feeling a little envious that they're out there on a field. But how tough has it been for the ladies and the team getting ready for this season, not having a field to work on?
Yeah, this is one of since I've been here as the baseball coach, assistant baseball coach for a while, and now my 5th year here, I believe this is maybe only the 3rd or 4th year in the last 20 that we haven't been able to get outside for at least a little bit. And it is a difficult transition. We're going down 2 days early to take some ground balls on the dirt, but the girls they've been working really hard. The problem is that, our surface inside isn't the greatest to be on every single day for 3 hours. And so we also have to limit some of what we do because the bodies take a beating on that surface downstairs. So, but what do? You do what you can and get ready, and we're excited. We're excited to go play Dixie.
Talk a little bit about last season, second best in school history, but I know for you wanted more. So how has that translated over to this year with a lot of returners back? Are the expectations pretty high? Expectations are high. I know it wasn't just me that wanted more. Our girls are competitors. They want to leave a legacy. They want to change things. Our program in the past traditionally has not been great, and now I think we've turned some heads, and that's not good enough for them. They want to win, and they want to push for the GNAC championship and get into a regional. And that's the great thing about going down and playing Dixie. They're well coached by Randy, and generally, they're top in the region every year, and they host the region a lot. So it's a great opportunity for us to go there and play where the regionals played a lot, and get a chance to get on a field with a team that I think our team is similar to, and that's what we strive to be like. So let's go down and have some fun and kick the season off the right way. Obviously, you mentioned you don't know a lot about this team simply because of the basic fact that you haven't been on a field, but many of the faces. So let's talk about some of the returners. Newcomer of the year, Brooke Bonson. Freshman of the year, Kylie Orr. And a slew of fantastic freshmen who are now sophomores, Anna Olson, Cassidy Fifield. You could go up and down the roster and name half a dozen that were impact players last year. How is the roster of returners shaping up?
It's shaping up well. We ended the season last year with some injuries, and that really cost us, I think. The GNAC write-up came out last week, and we went 3-3 or we had 3 wins in April, I think, and that was right when 2 of our starters went down, and that was a struggle for us. And now we have a pretty good roster full of depth for the first time in a long time. We've been competing really, really well in practice. Fall was great. We had enough girls that are quality Division II players that could compete for a position that we could put 2 different lineups out every game, and that was great. And now with those returners with a year under their belt, we're excited. Those girls are ready to go. They're kind of, the deer in headlights is gone now, and they're ready to go. They just had a really good mental training this Saturday, and a lot of the stuff that was said in there is exactly kind of what you were saying, is that the freshman year is over, and we've added some key components, like I said, for depth, and those girls are competing for starting spots. So we had a great freshman class, but we also brought in some girls that are going to compete with those sophomores this year and, trying to get a starting spot. So it's exciting, and I think that, time will tell this week. I think this week's a big week for us. We got a lot of challenging, really good competitive teams to play over the course of 3 days. So,
who do you expect out of the returners to be team leaders, impact players, or players that you need to step up to be good?
Well, that's the great part about it is that we got a great group. We have a really great group, and every day someone that you may think, they don't say a whole lot of stuff, steps up and says something. Like Saturday was great. We had a couple girls that don't usually speak up. In our mental training, they said, no, this is the way we need to approach this season, and we need to approach it like, this is the changing of the guard, and we want to come out and take the GNAC this year. And so I would say, the obvious ones are Kylie, and Brooke. Those are the obvious ones. I mean, it's pretty tough to not lead when you lead by example on the field, so they're leaders just in that. And they also both are really they do a great job of speaking up and leading on the field and leading in practice. And then, our team is pretty close, so they do a lot of things together off the field too. So I think that's really important is team camaraderie, and we have that. We have a sense of they feel comfortable talking to each other, and that's one of the topics is holding each other accountable. Even though you're friends, you need to hold each other accountable. When you don't do something that you're supposed to, or you maybe respond the way that, isn't the way a championship team would respond, we need to hold each other accountable. And that's what we're working on, and I think that, we've come a long ways, and they're really excited.
You mentioned some newcomers who are going to be challenging for the starting positions. Who are some of those impact newcomers?
Well, we got a couple of junior transfers. Maddie Barr from Mount Hood from the NWAC, she's coming in and she's going to play behind, actually she's from LC, so she's from Lower Columbia Community College. And she's going to play second base for us and compete with Shelby. And she's got a pretty good stick in the middle of the lineup and could come off the bench. I talked to her about, filling some big shoes, maybe even Morgan Tomey, being able to come off the bench with bases loaded or something, and doing some magic. So she's kind of taken on that idea of getting to play at second, and splitting time with Shelby to keep some of those injuries late in the season from happening, and also coming off the bench and in a big spot and hitting for us. We got a pitcher, Riley Thomas. She will see some innings for us, and she's actually come on really well in the last couple of weeks, so we're excited about that. And then we got some quality freshmen that we brought in. Brittany, she's from the Washington area, from the Puyallup area. She's going to catch and DP, take a little bit off of Lisa. And this might be the first time that our stud Lisa Sylvester does not have to catch almost every single game of the year, and that's exciting. So, and we have, it's exciting because there's a trio of catchers now that are going to push each other, and that's exciting, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, we brought in a pretty good class, and we're excited about it. So, we'll see where we go.
This is probably one of those questions that falls under the I don't know category, but last year you had speed with Cassidy at the top of the order. You had power with Kylie in the middle of the order. You had great pitching with Brooke. You had outstanding defense with Shelby and Anna up the middle. Is there a strength to the team this year, or is it going to be well-rounded like you guys were last year?
I'd have to say, like you said, yeah, I can say what I think, but really we don't know. We'll see when we get tested. I think we have more depth in our pitching staff this year than we had last year. I think that'll ease some of Brooke's innings, and we brought in a freshman from California, Ray Young. She's going to do a lot for us, and she's going to fill in. And we've got another couple local freshmen. Allie Byron is really coming a long ways. When I recruited her from Nampa Christian, we talked, and she was kind of a deer in headlights and didn't know, and she is just really coming a long ways. So that's exciting. But man, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think that we make improvements in every area. I mean, I know we did a decent job in all those areas last year, and we were a well-balanced team. But I think if you were to ask our girls, all of them think that we need to improve greatly in all those areas. And I think if that happens, and we can be an even more well-balanced team than we were last year, and when I say that, I mean that our defense improves, our pitching improves, and offensively we want to step it up a lot offensively this year, then you'll see some great things from our team.
Last season, probably the biggest hurdle the team had to overcome was that doubleheader. You win one, you lose one. Every team except, I think, St. Martin's, you guys took games from. So you can play with anybody in the conference. How do you move to that next level of getting those sweeps and climbing the standings because of them?
Well, I think it was, just as much with the splitting. I mean, that was crazy. I think in the article they said we started out 7-7 in conference, which means, and 7-7 was a split every day. So if we were to win the first game, Coach and I were just figuring out every possible way, trying to motivate them because we knew there was a chance we were going to lose the second game, trying to figure that out. And it was vice versa. If we lost the first game, I would have bet anything that we were going to win the second game. And so it just was kind of a crazy deal, and I think a lot of it had to do with our mental training. And we worked really hard on that. That piece this fall and this early in this spring. So I think our girls are, that's been held over their head for quite a while now, for about 8 months. So they're ready to come out and do some damage in both games every day. But no, I think that if you can improve, it's a pretty good thing to say that you took games from every team. And I think if you can improve and start taking multiple games and figure out how to grind the whole day, that's what turns into a GNAC championship, or that's what gets us to the GNAC tournament, or that's what gets you to a regional. And so the girls are definitely ready to grind it out. We, like you said, our conference is so good, and we took games from everybody. And I stopped counting when we got into double digits on one-run losses. And once again, I think that's attention to detail and mental training. And we've just been over and over discussing it and doing some training. So I think that's key. Hitting with 2 outs and runners in scoring position was a big one for us. We left a small village on base last year. I think that we probably led. I know we led the GNAC in left on base, but I think that we led a lot of the Northwest in left on base. So another product of young girls trying to get themselves caught up with the level of talent in the GNAC, and we're excited. I think that's going to change this year. I think a lot of those numbers are going to flip, so that's exciting.
It's that terrible question that all coaches hate. Where do you finish? What's a good year? How do you stack up against the league? And what do you want to see this team accomplish? Yeah,
not being outside, it's hard to determine, because there's a lot of determining factors on where we finish. This is gonna be a tough week for us going out. We purposely scheduled Dixie State right out of the gate, and they're generally in the top 20 every single year. They'll be ranked in the region. And then our draw in the tournament this weekend was 3 of our 5 teams that we play on Friday and Saturday will be in the top 22. So not being on dirt and not being outside, it's tough to calculate what's going to happen. I don't doubt my girls. This Crusader team's going to go out and give it their all 100%, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't seen dirt and we haven't taken any ground balls outside. So, and we're facing all teams that have. They've been outside all year. So that is tough, because that has a big, calculating factor on the ending outcome. But, I think a couple games over 500 is a good year for this program. I think for this team, I don't think anything less than 30 wins is good enough for them. That's what they're shooting for. So, and then obviously making it to the GNAC tournament. That's our number one goal. That's the number one goal for this team is to get into that GNAC tournament. You know, we were preseason picked to finish 6 out of 8, you know, and obviously the program is making improvements because I think it's the first time we haven't been picked last, you know, so that's exciting. Somewhat exciting. If you ask us, it's not. We want to be, you know, we want to be preseason like baseball. Baseball this year, pick to win it, right? That's what we want to, that's what we want to get to. So I think the goal is the GNAC tournament, however it takes to get there. You know, I mean, if we come out of the gates and take 2 games from Dixie or take a game from Dixie and go have a great tournament, then that's great. If we have a learning weekend, that's great too. You know, and all the girls are prepared for both. They understand, they get it, they know that, you know, the cards are somewhat stacked up against them because they haven't been able to practice outside yet. I mean, our outfielders haven't even seen a fly ball. You know, I mean, that's going to be fun, right? Forget about, hey, the climate, you know, the ball might carry more or whatever, but hey, how about just seeing a ball in the blue sky? So we're going to try to get down there and take care of business, and I guess we'll see what happens, right?
Well, you guys open Thursday, 3 o'clock first pitch for the doubleheader down at St. George, Utah. Games will be, live stats will be on throughout the entire weekend. Go to the NNUsports.com/live stats so you can follow the team's progress on the weekend. And then 24th and 25th of February, Eastern Oregon in town for doubleheaders, the home openers. So be sure to come out and support the ladies. Big season this year, and hopefully it will end in the tournament. And who knows, once you get to playoff time, it's anybody's ball game.
That's right.
Appreciate it, Coach. Good luck this weekend and good luck this season.
Thank you, and go Crusaders.